Yeah.
All right. Hey guys, this is Jordan Sanders, and I'm here with the Color Commentary crew as they give you views from a different side. And they're going to be talking about my brand new movie, Little. Let me go ahead and just introduce the rest of the Color Commentary crew that'll be helping me out. Chuck, my chocolate hogwarts friend, how you doing today, buddy?
Really, Rashad, every week, every week, you gotta get the. I mean, what'd you find? Where you find that? Where you find that
What?
wig from, bro? I'm like, I mean, is this glass all over again? Like, can you be original? Do we have to do
What?
this every week? I mean, I thought we were talking about Avengers here. This is just ridiculous. I mean, you just look silly. You look dumb.
Chuck, you know what, bro? Bro,
Ridiculous.
you know what? You're being a real bully right now.
I'm
And with
sorry, but somebody had to tell
with
you
the
something.
power of this back scratcher,
What is that
I'm
gonna
gonna
do?
wish you little. Because
What's
if you were little,
whoa?
we'll see
What
who's
the
pushing
world's
who
going
around.
on
How
here?
about that, huh? Ha, get out of here with that mess. Anyway, hey Frank. Hey, I'm sorry that you had to see that, but it is some stuff happening with the color commentary crew, man. Sorry about that. But how you doing today?
Does it go down like this every week here on Color Commentary?
No, not every week, just every other week.
I don't know. I seen a couple of episodes, and well, yeah, yo, I'm glad to be here on the set, man. Hey, I'm working for JSI, and I'm ready to fire somebody. I'm like a corporate manager or somebody. I work for JSI, and I'm glad to be here on the set, and I'm ready to have fun. Let's go.
Thank you, Frank. Toodles to you, sir, for doing it right, doing it the right way. Let's see if Chuck is actually ready to do his intro now at this point. Chuck, are you ready to actually do an intro? I guess he's not ready to do an intro. Oh, there he is. What,
Can you see me?
what in the world?
I feel weird. Am I big?
What, what happened to you there? You turned into a child?
What's up, guys? What's up, guys? What's up, guys? It's Chuck Taylor here. Ready to do this review? Let's go.
Chuck, how in the world did you go from this to this? I don't know what's happening here. I guess he's ready. Okay. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into this movie review. Of course, this is Rashad, owner and founder of Block Band Music and Publishing, a company that gives you music and instruments for marching bands across the nation. Let's talk about this movie. First, we're going to give you a non-spoiler review. So go ahead, Frank. Just your quick thoughts on this movie, man. Non-spoiler review on the movie Little.
Uh, Rashad, I really don't know, man. I got some mixed feelings about this movie. Um, you know what? I think it's I think it's worth going to see it. You know what? I'll talk about it later, man. I just got some mixed feelings about it, man. It got me feeling that type of way, man. Sorry about that. I'm just in my emotions right now.
Uh, okay. And Chuck, we know that you don't like to support black movies, so we know you need to do it. So I'll go ahead and go.
Uh,
I personally love the movie. I thought it was a great movie. I definitely think you should see it. I can't wait to get into the spoiler part in order to take it apart a little bit. But I really enjoyed this movie. So if you let's see here, if you're watching right now, you've heard our non-spoiler review. Chuck says he's okay. I'm not Chuck. Frank says it's okay. He's got some mixed feelings. Chuck didn't see it at all. You can go that route. I think it's great. I think it's hilarious. I don't think it's a perfect movie, but for me, the comedy really overwhelmed some of the problems with the movie. So if you are here for the non-spoiler review, you can go ahead and cut off your camera now, cut off your YouTube video right now, and go to the theater and watch the movie or not. Because now we're going to get into the spoiler review of the movie. So let's do this. Mr. Frank Puna, Big Tuna, what's happening, man? What do you think about this movie? Spoiler review. Lay it all cards on the table.
Oh man, yeah, all right. So going in, man, I was looked up the director and seen that it was Tina Gordon. Tina Gordon, and I think that's her last name. Let me look at my notes, man. Make sure I get the name right. Yeah, Tina Gordon, man. She directed Drumline in 2002, and in addition to Peoples and ATL in 2006. So I was like, all right, let me see what's going on with that. And in addition, it was written by Tracy Oliver, who did Girls Trip, and a couple of movies that's coming out. One movie that's coming out, Son, is also a star. A movie about a black woman dating an Asian guy. So I was like, hey, I want to see what Little is about. Little, to me, was like off the movie Big that came out in 1988, 89. And I thought, with Tom Hanks. So I was like, hey, this, we got some African-American ladies in this movie, and we got to play off maybe could be considered by some a cult classic movie from the movie Big, and we got a little version of it. And this is a romance fantasy comedy movie. And on the fantasy side, you have this little girl that has this magic wand, and Jordan Sanders gets turned into a little girl. I thought the fantasy side was awesome. On the comedic side, you have Jordan Sanders, played by Regina Hall, being the bad attitude, a CEO, black woman making a lot of money, has a bad attitude, has been bullied, and getting her revenge on being bullied as a little kid. Now she's an adult, and now she gets to bully all the people who actually didn't pick on her, Rashad, if you really think about it. I think it's like, like Charlie, I don't know, Charlie and I have talked about this before. It might be like the nerd mafia. You get picked on in high school or in middle school, and then, you become this hot shot CEO, and you want to now take your revenge and misdirect your anger on your employees. That's the character that Regina Hall played as Jordan Sanders. Then you had Issa Rae.
She probably got her apples licked in middle school, so now she's licking other people's apples. How about them apples, huh?
I couldn't quite hear you there. We had a little transmission there. Could you say that again?
I said that she probably had her apples licked while she was in middle school, so now she's licking everybody else's apples. Yeah,
exactly. The word is clap back. That's the current word these days. She got clapped on, and now she's the one doing the clap back, and ain't she? And boy, was she out for revenge. I mean, the way she carried herself, and on a day-to-day basis. I mean, she has no filter. Kids, co-workers, it doesn't matter, man. She slaughters everyone. Then you have Issa Rae, who played April Williams. And she's like a pushover, personal assistant, and she go through some emotions, Rashad. Some emotions at work, some emotions in her dating life that I'd love for both of us to expand on a little bit further. And then you have the young version of Jordan, the third superstar, the young version of Jordan, who's played by Marseille Martin, who did an excellent job. I mean, she's also she got executive producer credit for this movie. Mm-hmm. So, in case y'all didn't know about that, I mean, that's pretty good for a young, for a kid her age. That's pretty awesome. And she did an excellent job playing the young version of herself with an adult mind. That was an interesting twist. But I'd like to hear more what you guys, and hopefully we can chop more about it one-on-one, more about this movie.
It sounded like everything you said was all good. I didn't hear a single negative thing about what you said, but you said you had some mixed thoughts. Like mixed was good and great.
The mixed thoughts. I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you brought that up. A lot of the comedic angles didn't really hit with me. I wasn't busting out laughing, through the movie. I wasn't chuckling a little bit. Even, I was even observing the kids in the movie theater. There was quite a few teenage kids ranging from 12 to 17 that I seen in the movie. And there wasn't too many outbursts of laughter. I wouldn't say 12 to 17 because it's a PG-13 movie, but ranging from 14 to 17, it looks like. I didn't really hear too much laughter out of them from my observations. It wasn't, didn't really They try to get you, but they try to get me, but they didn't get me. On the romance end, I thought that's where the comedic part was, with Issa Rae, being very hot and bothered, and she really had a few sets of men that she had her eyes on, but there was no romantic interaction. I guess she's single and available. She made herself available. She let people know that she's about that life, and none of the guys followed up with her, from the school teacher to one of her co-workers and whoever else. Also on the romance side with Jordan Sanders, she had this, I don't know what you would call it, like a Chippendale type of dude. I don't know. She had like a hired stripper that comes down and, help her out and she had some mixed feelings with her boy toy, for lack of a better phrase. There. So the romance side was pretty cool. But you know what, Rashad? The part that really, really, and it might seem petty and it may seem superficial, but the main part of the problem with this movie is the fantasy part. We got the romance, comedy, the fantasy. The fantasy is the magic wand. Where did that girl get that magic wand from, man?
She got it from Hogwarts.
And as soon as Issa Rae knew that girl could do something with that magic wand, as an adult, I would have never gave her back that magic wand.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go ahead and wish that this girl found this. I never knew that this magic wand existed, and and I'm just gonna make a wish on that, and that wand gonna be mine because she a little kid. But there needs to be a whole entire storyline that was missing for me on how this kid found this magic wand. And this kid, Rashad, this kid has a magic wand that could defeat Thanos. Do you hear me here? Thanos.
Well,
that's where I'm at. So
no, she couldn't defeat Thanos because Doctor Strange said that was the only way. It was the only way. When he looked at 14,605,000 different ways of defeating Thanos, he obviously looked at the little girl with the wand and was like, "No, they ain't gonna work."
The wand ain't gonna work. That wand ain't gonna do it. But hey, for a wand that could do something like that, if you make that girl mad, she's pretty mature with wielding that power, for a young kid. But I think there need to be a spinoff or a sequel to her and that magic wand, because if she keeps that magic wand around, and they gave it back to her, they took it, they fought that wand for a second. I thought it was gonna break or something, but they gave it back to her. And that's the end of that. But it would be a great movie to see what goes on with that magic wand and that young lady. I want to keep a closer eye on her future. I'll tell you that much. But I want to hear what you got to say.
Okay. Well, Chuck, what do you have to say about this movie that you didn't see? Didn't seem like you had much to say at all. So I'll go ahead and take it here. Let's see here. Man, I thought the movie was hilarious. I really enjoyed it. Regina Hall's performance at the beginning was way over the top, and I thought her being so over the top, I thought it was going to be bad. But it was so funny. Like, it was so ridiculous, the things that she was doing, like licking people's apples, smacking people in the head. The funniest thing that she did when she said, "If we don't get this deal, there ain't gonna be no more ergonomic chairs," and she pushed the girl around the corner. I know that I could just see where they were laughing on set when she did it, because it was just ridiculous. Oh boy. But I thought it was funny. I really liked the dual messages of the movie, because it wasn't just about trading places between young and old Jasmine. It was actually Jordan, excuse me. It was Jordan and the assistant, April, who switched places as well. You see, Jordan learned how not to push people away. And we also learned why she did that. We learned that she attacked people before they would attack her, based off of her experiences in middle school. Which reminds me, I actually missed like the first 2 or 3 minutes, maybe 5 minutes of the movie. So I remember she was at the hospital. What happened there?
Oh yeah, let me give you a rundown on that. So young Jordan had a presentation going on stage, and she's standing on this platform. She's doing a science physics presentation. She has this big, like, it looks like a big giant, you know, one of those punching bags you punch real fast, one of
Yeah.
those. You just, yeah, one of those where you just stand and punching them. Well, she had like a big version of that, and she's like swinging it like a pendulum, like she's like throwing it, you know, like basically like pushing it across the stage. And she's basically saying, like, basically through the laws of physics, when she hits this, when she pushes this gigantic bag with a certain amount of force, it's not going to come back and hit her. Well, one of the bullies, which I think it was a school cheerleader as well, one of the bullies, she, before I get to that part, so she pushes the boxing bag, and it goes across the stage a little bit into the crowd, and it comes back to her and it doesn't hit her. So when it swings back, the bully girl catches it. You know, the camera pans to the bully girl, she catches it, and then she's like, exerts a whole lot of force, and you know, it basically pushes it in the back in the direction of young Jordan. Well, young Jordan is standing on a platform that's probably made out of boxes, something very light, or some blocks that are very light.
Okay.
And basically the bag hits Jordan, and Jordan just flies to the back of the stage. And I was like, so at one point in time, it was the greatest moment of her life. She had her scholastic life where she proved one of the laws of physics. The bully comes in, interrupts all that. Now it becomes one of the worst days of her life. Now, the next scene is when she's at the hospital and her parents say, "Hey, it's okay. One day you'll be able to get them back, basically through success. Don't worry about it." And the funny thing about that part was, like, as a parent, I'm ready to sue the school. I'm ready to sue the parents. Where is this kid? Like, none of that. They're just walking her. And that's when you walked in the movie. That's when you saw her in a body cast, all messed up. And basically, young Jordan at that point is vowing for revenge.
Gotcha. Okay, so I need to jump on one of those online places when the movie becomes available, because for whatever reason, for all the black movies, they're not available online. So you gotta go to the theater. I don't know what it is. I guess they know us. They know that when it comes to black people, supporting black people, you have to force us to do it. We'll do it very well if we're forced to do it. Anyway, like I said, we learned a lot about Jordan. Thank you for that, Frank. We learned a lot about Jordan, why she was, but we also learned with April. She had a transformation as well. She learned that she had to become more like Jordan. She had to become more fierce and learn how to stand up and take command. And I thought that was cool. They both had that transition. I love the social worker, because the social worker gave as good as she got. Talking about you and your goofy aunt, and talking about you got to enroll this child in school or somebody's going to jail. And April was like, by somebody, do you mean? She's like, no, I'm talking about you. That was great. I love the entertaining sections, like the part where they're singing, time on my hands since you've been away, boy. I ain't got no rest now. Like, that was funny to me. It could easily take you out of the movie because you're wondering, like, why is this happening? But it was entertaining. So, I equate that kind of to the part in Big where they're dancing on the piano. You're like, okay, why are they doing that? But it just gave you a little entertaining section. It wasn't a perfect movie. Frank, my biggest problem with this movie, man, what the heck is up with the marching band, bro? Like, what are y'all doing? Like, this is a complete insult to me. I mean, you see, I got the trombone over here. Let me tell you something. Marching bands do not play backup for talent shows. What is that? I kick the music, and the band is back there doing something. No, play the radio. That's how that works. But the band doesn't play the background music for the talent show. That's stupid and ridiculous. Whoever told you that, I'm completely insulted. Anyway.
Can I chime in on one thing that I was insulted on? I wouldn't say it was an insult, but what about the kid that stutters? He couldn't even, like, I don't know, it was some of the child acting. Children are precious. I'm all about the children. Frank is always for the children. Okay. But I mean, like, that one kid, I don't know his name. I tried to find his name. I couldn't find him, but the stuttering kid, like, he was horrible at stuttering. He was just like repeating
He was horrible
what
at
he just
stuff.
said before. He didn't have a speech impediment. You know, like that was just it was just horrible. It's like, either you get a kid that really has a speech impediment and pay the kid to act in this movie.
Just make fun of his actual. That's hilarious.
Or just not have a kid that has a speech impediment at all. You know, or at least have a kid that can perfect, you know, like if you're gonna stutter, like actually go through the acting of stuttering, you know, like it's not something to laugh at or anything like that, but it's just like, why have a kid that stutters when he can't even stutter right?
Wow.
You know, this is like
you are terrible and horrible.
I say, yo, get it.
Terrible.
It was horrible.
I have a question for you guys. Is this a adult movie or a kid movie?
It's a PG-13 movie. I mean,
PG-13
movies are like that. You know, they have some inappropriate things. You know, a lot of like when you watch movies like Superbad or 100 other PG-13 movies, you know, they have some suggestive stuff in there sometimes because this is how teenagers are. So I didn't have a problem with the things that were saying.
So if you had a kid, you know, around that middle school age, there's not very many provocative. Because on the previews, it's hard to really tell. I mean, I see a dude basically genuine on top of the building, you know, with his shirt off, and then I see, you know, a little girl that's, you know, what 12? Like, oh yeah, looking them up and down and stuff. It's like that's a little. I don't know. It has some little strange moments, at least with some of the previews. So I was wondering.
See, I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call you out just like I called Frank before the show. See, you just being sexist is all this. You are being sexist. Let me tell you why. Because in all these movies with the boys, there's always some hot teacher with big old boobs, and the boys like, oh my God, did you see what Mrs. Johnson has on today? You know what I mean? And you always, you know, oh, she's so hot, she's so fine. So that stuff is fine, but all of a sudden when it's a little
with
girl,
the boys, okay,
like, oh, okay, you know.
Well, I mean, if Miss Johnson came out on a stripper pole, ripping her clothes off, you know, at somebody's balcony, and then the boys are sitting there on the couch looking at her, that would be one thing. Like, yeah, I would be wondering a little bit about the movie rating and what they're talking about. I mean, it's not like she was like I can see maybe like when she was attracted to the teacher, like that whole skit, like, you know how I'm feeling, or you know what I'm feeling, like that whole exchange. I can see her like having a crush on him, giving him the little eyes and shadow and stuff like that. That was cool. But then like when the dude's like just literally like going like, you know, BT uncut over there on the top of the on top of the building, I was like, whoa, cover your eyes.
Well, this ain't Disney. Look, you want Disney, you can watch Dumbo again, okay?
Oh God, no.
You had to take this one there. Last thing, the movie just had a couple of how should I say, loose ends that didn't make sense. But again, for me, it was funny enough that a lot of that stuff didn't really bother me. But it's like, okay, first of all, does she not take showers in the morning? Like, if I woke up, okay, and I was taking a shower, and my parts were the same size as my parts were back when I was 13, I would notice. There would be questions. Does she not? Are you telling me that a woman, particularly one that seems to pride herself on her attractiveness as much as she does, did not look in the mirror one time? Like it was weird to me that the only way she found out that she was a child is that she went out in public, and then she like looked at a reflection and realized that she was a child. Like to me, yeah, you're definitely going to recognize that you're a child before you walk out the door. I don't know, that was weird. And then Dangling storyline, like what happened to the Child Protective Services Agency? Like, how are they going to explain what happened to young Jordan? Like, it was such a big deal. You got to get Jordan in school, but now she's gone. She's disappeared. Like, somebody murdered her. Like, how are you going to explain that? How are you really going to explain how this child is gone now? What happened to the nosy neighbor? And of course, what happened to? He's literally called Hot Teacher. That's his name on.
That's his name?
Yeah. Wow. What happened to Hot Teacher? Like he could have showed up at the end somewhere, and that could have fixed that. But other than that, again, I really enjoyed the movie. I think people should see it. I think it's probably an underrated movie. What closing thoughts there, Frank? Should people see this movie?
Yeah, but not in the theaters. Wait till it comes on BET.
Uh,
Yeah, there's a lot of missing points in the movie, a lot of continuity issues. They got their continuity coordinator behind the movie says did a horrible job of that. Yeah, just wait till it comes on BET, and you can watch it every spring when it comes on there.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and close out. So at this point, I'll go ahead and toss it back to Mr. Chuck Taylor here. Oh, well, first of all, let me say real quick, if you like what we did, make sure to give us a like. Leave a comment. Is this movie too provocative, maybe, or is it just right? Let us know. As usual, you got to subscribe to survive. Now I can pass it over to Color Commentary. And of course, what he's going to say is, this is Color Commentary, where we give you views from a different side. Peace. There we go. All right, guys, let's go ahead and change up real quick here. Live and direct. You guys are going to watch us transform. Give me 30 seconds, guys. 30 seconds.
Bring it to you, Doug.
And 29 and a half, 30. All right, here we are. Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time. We are here with the Color Commentary crew, where, of course, we give you views from a Loki side. And it is the week before time for Avengers Endgame. So now it is time to talk about theories. We've got a lot of theories to talk about. So what we're going to do, we're going to do two separate shows. First of all, we're going to talk about our favorite theories as far as Avengers Endgame is concerned. Then we're going to talk about your favorite theories. And so chime in, leave us a message, say something in chat if you want us to talk about your theory. Let's go ahead and bring on the rest of the Color Commentary crew as soon as they come back, because apparently they are still changing clothes. Oh, here we go. Mr. Chuck Taylor, what's happening, sir? How you doing, man?
What's up, guys? What's up, guys? What's up, guys? I am ready. Ready for this, baby. I know it's my last show, my last hurrah. And, Tony's got to do it big, so he's going to kill Thanos. That's one of my theories. Tony gets to kill Thanos.
Nice. Okay. And Mr. Frank Tuna, Big Tuna, what's happening there, man?
Hey, back on the set. What's going on?
We're all good, man. We're all good, bro. All right. Let's talk about this. First, let's go ahead and shoot off your top 3 theories for Avengers Endgame. So let's go ahead and start with you, Chuck. What are your top 3 theories for Avengers Endgame in 5 minutes, if you can?
This show, well, this movie has been having theories since the first one dropped. So, I know one of the big things is how is everybody going to get back? And I know I assumed it would just be, hey, we beat Thanos, you get the gauntlet, and they wish everybody back. But I don't think they're going to go that route. I'm thinking that maybe the people that died are going to be dead. And the way that they come back is they change the past, or they change those, they stop the stones, or maybe stop Thanos from collecting all the stones from even being able to do the snap. And that's what was able to, fix the rift, and everything goes back to normal. But maybe it's probably not normal. It seems like everything's normal, but we know every time time travel happens, if you watch any of the story show Flash, no matter what you do, if you step on a butterfly, it's going to have some crazy effect when you go back to your time. Something's gonna happen. All the butterflies are gonna start attacking people now. But you know, so I think something's crazy like that. They're gonna end up saving everybody. I gotta know a couple guys are probably gonna die and they're not gonna come back. Probably maybe Tony or Cap. Those are the first two that I can think of. I know Thor's coming back because I heard he had a new movie coming out, so they let that one slip out the bag. So I don't think he's gonna die, but you never know. I didn't think Black Panther was gonna die either, and they got me with that one. I think that was on our last theory show for Infinity. Well, we know all the black guys. Oh no, we know everybody from Wakanda is good because that made over $1 billion. And in the movies, we're like, what in the heck? They just killed Black Panther.
Disney was like, hold my beer.
So you know, I'm so ready for this movie because they've done. I think they did a better job with this movie than any other movie with not letting anything slip out. Like they don't. You don't know really.
What's your second theory?
I can't go on. I gotta keep ranting. All right. Second theory is they're going to get their tails handed to them a few times in this movie by Thanos. I think Thanos he looked kind of weak at the end of the last movie, so I think everybody's just assuming that Captain Marvel and Thor should be able to handle it. Especially how cocky she comes in. If you've seen that first little clip of the movie, she kind of like, well, "You didn't have me," and everybody's like, "Really? That's your go-to line? We didn't have you." So, and I know War Machine tossed some junk to her too, but yeah, I think Thanos is going to go ham on everybody. I'm hoping that he takes somebody out early in the movie. I don't know if it's Captain Marvel because I don't see her in a lot of other clips, but I'm thinking she might get taken out or at least be put on the DL for most of the movie. She'll probably say she's going to go fly to get some help, but we probably just won't see her no more. We'll see what happens. You know what happens when she goes off into space and says she's going to get some help, and she comes back like 20 years later once everything's all fixed. Then you have an old War Machine talking about, where the hell were you at? Well, there's other planets that didn't have you. It's like, you gonna pull that on me again? Really? Okay. And I guess my third one, I'm thinking it's gonna have to do, since I believe it's gonna have something to do with time travel, that they're gonna bring in another big bad to kind of start carrying on that next phase. What's this, 5 or 6? Which phase are we on?
This is the end of 4, I think.
Yeah, I think it's in 4. So the start phase 5. So what's the time traveling bad guy? He feels like a green suit. I forget his name is. Starts with a K, doesn't it? Kane. Yeah, Kane. I'm thinking maybe something with Kane because I did see on some theories that they were saying when Ant-Man shrunk down and you saw a city in the little what's his little place called he shrinks down to?
The quantum
realm. Yeah, of course I should know that. The quantum realm. Say it again, Rashad.
Quantum realm.
One more time for the people in the back.
What are you glad for that?
One more time for the people in the back, Rashad. How you say that?
The quantum realm. I don't. What are you laughing for that? I don't understand.
That's funny. But the quantum realm. There's a city that on one of the still shots is in there, so they're thinking that might be Kane's city or something like that. Something to actually tie in to the next phase 5 and 6, because they gotta have something to kind of bring everything back. I don't think it's gonna be as big as Thanos, like kill everything in the galaxy, but it's probably gonna be something that's gonna help bring the next batch of heroes together to have to fight them off. So, but yeah, those are a couple of the theories I was been coming along myself with. What about you guys?
Wait, so say them again real quick. Just list them off.
Okay, the first one is that well, I did say 1 at the beginning, so I actually did 4. I said Tony, I think, is going to kill Thanos. He might die in the crossfires, but he's going to kill Thanos. I mean, it might be like a sudden death, like both of them take each other out. It's over, but he's dying. I don't think Cap's gonna die, even though everybody thinks he's gonna die. I don't think he's gonna die. But the other ones I was saying was what's her name? Captain Marvel was gonna get her tail handed to her, and you ain't gonna see her no more in the movie. And I think that Kane.
You've made a lot of people happy by saying that one. Not me. I'm just saying, but you know the one. You know the one.
I mean, I'm not a hater of Captain Marvel. I just think because she's so cocky, and she just think that she's young. I think that it just sounds like a Russo's probably going, yeah, we about to have some fun with you real quick. CGI, like you probably think she actually won some of the battles, and then she gonna see the movie like, wow, they gonna do her like they did when they didn't do the first Avengers. But you know how Captain America got beat up in the first Avengers, like throughout the whole movie. That's how Captain Marvel is gonna be. You know, you get that new age treatment. And I think they're gonna have something to do with changing something in the past to stop the whole snap thing from happening. And I think that's probably how people may come back. That's the only way. I don't think people are coming back to life. I don't think nobody's getting undusted. I think something has to change in the past that's going to result that they don't get dusted in the future. That's the only thing I can think of. Other than that, you know, who knows? But and the last thing was just I think that Kane the Conqueror will be the big bad. So I think they'll kind of lead up to him on this next phase 5 since they're doing a lot of time travel.
Okay, that makes sense. I like that. Not necessarily that he's going to be in this movie, but he'll be somebody of importance in the next.
Kind of like how Thanos was in the first Avengers, like he just smiles at the camera type of thing. You know, like something like that to kind of let us know, like get us all geared up again.
Right. It's time for change. All right. What about you, Frank? Your top 3 theories.
My top 3 theories. At least 1 or 2 of them is similar to Charlie's. My first theory is right along with Captain Marvel. I didn't see her in the trailer when they had all the Avenger suits on. So I'm like, oh yeah, she ain't gonna be on the set for a while. I think Thanos is gonna beat the crap out of her. Because she's overconfident. That's what I have in my notes. But here's the one thing with Captain Marvel though. I know Samuel L. Jackson said in an interview somewhere that he leaked that she has the ability to try time travel. So I wonder if she will be, at least this version of Captain Marvel has the ability to time travel. So I wonder if she will be used to be the person, their vessel to time travel. My second theory along with time traveling is that Ant-Man will be the one to be used for time travel because he's trapped in the quantum realm. So once he figure all that mess out and get out of it,
the quantum realm.
Realm. You gotta put
Ram. Say it with us. Ram trucks. Wham.
You gotta get that ram on, boy. Mix that gumbo with some of that ram there, then you know you'd be all right. You'd be all set. My second theory is that not Captain America, but Tony Stark's. Hey, you got Tony Stark's mask on. What a coincidence! Tony Stark's and Shuri, Black Panther sister, come up together with some kind of machine, some kind of weapon, or something to knock off Thanos, or at least to like weaken him a little bit. But between Thor, I guess this is my fourth theory. I don't know between Thor and Captain America will be the one to defeat Thanos if there's one to single-handedly do it. And my fifth one would be that a couple of people died. Somebody got to go. Somebody. I don't know if it's Nebula.
Wait a second. How long was I changing shirts? Did you do some time? How'd you survive? Who was you doing?
This is Avengers talk, man. We don't have no programs. That's what it is.
Lord. Go ahead.
You said what now? Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, my fifth theory was, somebody got to go. I just don't know. I got a list of people. It might be Nebula is one of them because she just wants Thanos. She just wants to whoop Thanos' butt so bad. She wants it too much. She's gonna have an opportunity, but she's gonna fail again. Either Starks or Captain America has to go. I know a couple of years ago, they had a phase out series. So, I mean, they said they was going to phase some characters out. I just don't know which one, but it's going to be one of them. If Captain America stays alive, then War Machine will stay alive. But if Captain America stays alive, War Machine might be the guy that they might have to take out.
Yeah. Bucky's gone.
You said what? Bucky's gone?
I think Bucky's gone.
Now,
Not Bucky.
okay.
What's War Machine? Colonel Rhodes. What's it? Rhodes?
Yeah.
Rhodey. Yeah, Rhodey. Yeah, Rhodey. My boy's gone.
Well, you know,
he got something.
You know, he's got a show coming out too.
Oh yeah.
He does.
Mm-hmm. That's right. But I don't know how much any of this stuff is real, or I don't know how much the what's his name? What are the Russo brothers like? We get these secrets. And then like a whole other department is like, oh yeah, guys, we got brand new shows. And then can you shut up?
Oh, hey, what happened with Shield when they brought Shield out, and the Russos brought Winter Soldier out? Did they tell anybody what was about to happen after Winter Soldier?
No.
And what happened to Shield? The show Shield.
They had to change the
whole show had to change. So right. I don't think they tell anybody. They just do what they want to do, and then you just make your changes on the fly.
So we're not going to hear any more about the War Machine shows, basically.
Yeah. They could do a prequel or something. War Machine out there. He could be doing one of his War Machine stories he told on Avengers 2, Age of Ultron. That's going to be one of the stories. We'll see him fight like some tanks or something. Oh, wow, that was nice and neat. Yeah, okay.
Wow. Go ahead, Frank. You got anything else? How many you done now? 10 of your 3?
Yeah, 14.
I'm still at number 5. I'll go ahead and wrap it up. My last one is Red Skull is still in the Soul Stone, right? So I think somehow, some way, that's how Captain America dies. I think somebody had I think I saw that in one of the research, but I agree with it so much that I'm going to take ownership of it too. Dang it! But Red Skull is going to get his revenge on Captain America. You know, that's how Captain America might be get taken out, and then Bucky will be the one that the torch gets passed to. You know, and but I'll go ahead and let you take it here from Rashad.
That might be like that Crossfire comment that Chuck just made. You know, that maybe Captain America takes out Thanos, whatever, and then right after he does it, like right before he drops the shield on him, Red Skull shoots him in the back. So that would be.
Ooh. I want to feel so much. I don't really want to know how I want to feel. I just want to feel all these mixed emotions. They can just give me the victory and then they take it away from me, and then they give me something to smooth me over to the next one. I think everybody's gonna be a roller coaster of emotions with this movie.
Absolutely,
definitely.
I'm gonna still go with the same 3 theories that I have been going with ever since Infinity War ended. Number 1, I believe that Nebula is the main bad guy. I believe that. I think I've said that in every prediction show that we have done. I just like it. I think that they have set, the Russo brothers have set that up to be perfect. And if you don't know about the comic books, you won't see it coming. But it is true to the comic book. So again, in the original stories, what happens is Thanos gets the power of the Infinity Gauntlet. Then after wiping out half the universe, he then fights the cosmic entities, like the entity that basically represents the entire universe, among other things, and defeats it. And so he's like, you know what? I've got all the power in the world here. Let me go ahead and just merge myself with the whole universe, or at least merge my mind with the whole universe. What he does, though, not thinking, is he actually leaves his body just standing there with the Infinity Gauntlet on his hand. In the meantime, he had been torturing Nebula the whole story. Basically, he left her in a state in between life and death. So while he was just standing there, she walks up and and she takes the gauntlet. And now she got all the power. Just that easy. I mean, just that easy.
Perfect comic book writing.
What's that?
That's a perfect comic book writing.
Yeah. And I can see that happening because in the same way, Thanos tortured Gamora for for a good portion of Infinity War. Plus, we know the backstory of him torturing her, so she hates him. She already has tried to fly a plane into him. So that everybody that she hates, she flies plane. Yeah,
you said Gamora.
What do you say?
I said he said Gamora.
Nebula. Nebula, we've got the Soul Stone. So I think that she's going to get it. The thing about it, people have to remember, is that they keep showing Nebula to be like a good guy, like she's teamed up with the Avengers. But Nebula is not an Avenger, and she is not a good person. Anytime that she has had the opportunity to do bad things, she's done it. So just because she's fighting, to take out Thanos, I don't think she's fighting to get half the universe back. I think she's fighting to get Thanos. And once she gets that power, she's going to take over. There's one scene in one of the trailers where you see the Avengers flying back towards, what is the name of the ship? Sanctuary? I think that's the name of Thanos' ship. I don't think that they're flying to Sanctuary to fight Thanos. I think they're flying to Sanctuary to fight Nebula. Because why would Thanos need Sanctuary? He's chilling on the beach someplace. So anyway, that's number one. Number two, we're going to see World War Hulk. Why are there so many W's?
World Breaker.
Oh, that's right, World Breaker. There you go. That's much easier for me. Thank you. We're going to see World Breaker Hulk in this. This whole thing about what is his name, Professor Hulk. You might get a little bit of that. It could be a complete lie, but I don't think that's going to be the major thing. I think that Hulk and Thanos are going to face off again, and Hulk is going to get so pissed off and so enraged. Your boy Thanos is probably going to rip Black Widow in half or something, and he's just going to go ham and beat the snot out of Thanos. But after he beats the snot out of Thanos, he's going to be out of control. And with him being out of control, he's going to be a problem. And the Avengers are going to have to fight him again. And I don't know how they're going to beat him. Where I'm getting this from, if you watch a lot of stuff from the movies takes place from the Ultimate Universe. And if I'm sure you've seen this, Charlie, there's an Ultimate Avengers where something like that happens. The Earth is attacked by some type of aliens. The Hulk goes off. He ends up beating all the aliens, but after that, he loses control.
And the Avengers have to fight him. Yep. There's a show, cartoon about that too.
That's what I'm talking about, the cartoon.
The cartoon movie, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. And then lastly, your boy Loki is coming back. Ain't no doubt. Loki doesn't die. Talking about, you just walk up to him and choke him in the neck and he's dead? Please, whatever. Man.
No resurrection for this one.
Yeah, right. Exactly. He's coming back. And I don't think he's just going to be back in the past. I think he's hanging out with Valkyrie. He's trying to, kind of put the moves on Valkyrie.
Now you just said that, I actually had to watch that sorry movie, Thor Dark World. And when he did that little magic thing with Thor's hand and chopped his hand off, I'm thinking, he could probably, he could have just been some random person that was dead not dead, but he could just took the form and made himself look like some random person in there and made them act like him. So Thanos was killing that guy, and he was just chilling over here in his little, invisible world that he goes to when he's sneaking around. So mystery guy.
Exactly. What they should have done though is Thor and Loki should have done Get Help. If they had just done Get Help, then everything would have worked out. I get one other thing. I heard this theory that it says that Thanos waited until now in order to attack once Odin was dead. I don't think he waited until Odin was dead. I think he waited until Yondu was dead. Right, that'd have been quick. All right, so let's get ready to wrap it up. We're going to wrap this one up with your quick 30 to 45-second theory on what's going to be the end scene, the last credit in this movie. What's going to happen, Chuck?
Like I said, my theory, I think Kane is going to be the next bad. I don't think they're going with Galactus. They may go with Galactus because I know they're going to try to bring in some of these Fantastic Four, and that's one of their main villains that they fight with Silver Surfer and everybody. So they may go that route, but I kind of think since I believe it may be having to do with some type of time travel, that they're going to have Kane the Conqueror. That's the next bad that they'll build up to, and maybe that'll be a way to tie in some of the other heroes that they bring in from Fox, like X-Men and Deadpool and some of the other properties like that.
All right. And what about you, Frank?
Yeah, I think my biggest theory is basically the alternate timeline. Like that is basically I'm with Charlie there because I want to see Deadpool, I want to see Silver Surfer, and I want to see Wolverine in all of this somehow, some way. So I'm hoping that somehow, I think I'm rolling with Charlie's theory because just because I want to see Silver Surfer, there's going to be some mess going on in outer space. We know that that's going to be happening after the end game, and Silver Surfer has to know about it.
Okay.
So there has to be a tie-in. There has to be a tie-in. And also Galactus might be the guy. Galactus might be there might be a guy beyond Thanos. I don't think Thanos is gonna die. And Galactus may be the guy to bring everything in together.
Okay. I have always been against the Galactus theory. The reason I'm against it is because Galactus is not a bigger threat than Thanos to me. Yes, he's a bigger guy. But if you think about it, Thanos is a threat to the universe. Galactus is just a threat to the Earth. So, yes, for us, for our purposes, yeah, he's going to take out the whole planet. That is a bigger deal. But looking at some guy that's against the universe versus just the one guy who's looking to take out the Earth, I feel like I've always felt like that was a step back. I feel like they need to go a different direction first and then come out with a big bad. And so my after credit theory is I would love to see the Skrulls. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't. But I would love to see my man Nando V Movies did a theory where he thinks that War Machine has been a Skrull for like at least a good portion of the movies. His theory is really good.
Probably after the first the first Iron Man.
Yep.
When he turned dark skinned and short.
Right. Nobody noticed. Like I've literally been I've literally been a different person the entire time. I really didn't do a good job of duplicating the guy, but y'all just went with it. So okay. I guess y'all really do think black people all look alike. But yes, what I want to see is I want to see War Machine get hurt really bad or killed. I want to see him killed. And at the very end, I want to see him turn into a Skrull. That's what I think. All right, guys. So you have watched us check out our theories. Make sure you drop a like if you like what we did. Let's hear what you had to say. Leave it in the comments. As usual, if you got to subscribe to survive with also there you go. We're about to do another show where we talk about your theories. So perhaps if you leave in a comment in the chat, we'll talk about that. This is Color Commentary, of course, where we give you views from the quantum realm.
Quantum realm.
Quantum realm. Peace.
Realm.
All right, guys, let's get into it. We've got Avengers Endgame coming out next week. Thank God I'm finally getting to the point where I say Endgame at least 50% of the time and not Infinity War. Still having problems with not saying Infinity War. It's such a catchy title. But Endgame is starting to catch up. Anyway, we're here to talk about predictions, okay? So last show, we talked about our favorite theories. Now we're going to talk about your theories. So I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos and saw a lot of the theories that are out there. We're going to real quick discuss each one of these. I've got 10 of them. So the Color Commentary crew is just going to give real quick answers to whether they think these things are going to happen or not. Obviously, we don't have time to discuss all of them, but we're going to at least talk about it a little bit, okay? Here is theory number one. This is for you, Chuck, real quick. Will there be any connections to the Fox properties? X-Men, Fantastic Four, Galactus, Civil War. Your quick 30 to 45 second answer on that, sir.
No. I don't have no tie-ins. I guess the only tie-ins that they could, I think they might use a villain. A villain that was used by Fox. I think they're going to use that to be a bridge, maybe like Dr. Doom. I didn't use him on my last theory, but they're going to have somebody that's tied to the other universe or the other properties that I think will help tie in the next group of people that bring it out. Because I think they're bringing out Fantastic Four. That's what I've heard the most. They're bringing them out before X-Men and stuff. So
okay,
and I know their biggest foe is Dr. Doom, I believe.
Okay. What about you, Frank? Any connections to the Fox properties?
One, I certainly hope so, and I think it will be smart if Marvel does do that because it will garner more money for them. If we go into the end game where they plan on going, we're going to be introduced to characters that people haven't grown up with, like people, like the average Marvel comic universe or film watcher hasn't flipped open a comic book at all, probably in their life. But they know about Spider-Man, they know about Hulk, they know about Iron Man, they know about Captain America. But if you bring in some of the Fantastic Four and the X-Men in, you still have familiarity. Instead of where, as opposed to them getting introduced to Adam Warlock, the Skrulls, and whoever else is out there in outer space. Bring in some more guys that uh, the world is familiar with to make more money. Back to you, Rashad.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I don't think there's going to be any connections to the Fox properties at all, particularly when they have said that it's going to be at least 5 years before they bring in the X-Men. I think that Kevin Feige and crew has got way too much on their plate with the characters that they currently have. There's no reason to rush into that type of stuff. All right. Question number 2, time travel. This one's going to go back to you, Frank. Will there be time travel? And if there is time travel, will it go back to the Battle of New York at all?
Yes, I think it will. It will. They will be battling at the Avengers base. That's where the battle will be at. Um, I'm not a big fan of time travel a lot in a lot of movies. That's like to me sometimes it could be uh, a form of laziness, but sometimes it does kind of helps with the plot holes. So if they're going back in time to get some Infinity Stones, I think to get the Infinity Stones, time travel will be involved if they're going to get another set of Infinity Stones to defeat Thanos. So in some capacity, I do think so, but I really don't. I really hope not. I hope that they can beat Thanos straight up without going back in time.
So basically, you think that there should have been time travel in the movie Little to finish up those uh, those continuity errors.
That magic wand is so you need it. You don't even need a whole gauntlet, Rashad. You just need a magic wand, bruh.
All right. So what about you, man? Will there be time travel? And if there is time travel, are they going to revisit the Battle of New York?
Yes and yes. I think I think it's definitely gonna be time travel, just because that's what most comic books use when they want to change some big catastrophe. Something that's horrible has happened. They always go in time. I mean, I don't think we're going to the alternate universe thing yet, but I definitely think they're going to go back in time to do something with these Infinity Stones. And that was the biggest movie that's what brought the Avengers together. So since this is the end game of those core Avengers, I think it'll be the best way to do the end game is have them go back to the beginning when they came together, and have some type of tie-in with that. So yeah, I think they're definitely gonna go back to New York. So New York's gonna get round 2 of a beat down. We'll see what's gonna happen.
Okay. Yes and yes for me as well. If there's no time travel in this movie, I think that is the very biggest thing that everybody thinks that there's going to be time travel, particularly since the thing that sets it all off is with your girl, what's her name, the original Wasp, excuse me, Michelle Pfeiffer, saying, "Watch out for the time things or whatever." So
something, yeah.
Plus
Yeah.
the time stone. So I think that they have left that open for us to be able to see. And I do think the marketing has shown enough for us to think that there will be something with the Battle of New York. I think the biggest thing towards that is I was watching somebody's show, and there's this clip where Iron Man is asking Captain America, I think, "Do you trust me?" And Captain America shakes his hand. He says yes, and then shakes his hand. But the yes and the shaking his hand are not the same scene. Have you seen that? Because the yes is obviously Captain America, but the hand is actually Ant-Man's hand. Because if you actually look at the video and look at the uniform, that's Ant-Man's uniform, not Captain America's uniform. So I think that what they've done there is that is Tony asking an old Captain America, do you trust me? And they're going
Like
to switch.
the one that was on the Battle of New York.
Yeah, exactly. The sorry one.
The sorry one.
Iron Man fly up on him. It's like, God, I forgot how pitiful that you were.
Hey, get you some upgrades, bro. When Winter Soldier about to start? Okay.
Right. Yeah. All right. This is back to you, Chuck. Will Ant-Man go back and forth through time several times if there is time travel?
I don't think so. I think it's gonna be a one. Well, I think Oh, okay. I'm gonna actually change my answer. Yes, I think he will go back through because I don't really think he knows how to go through time yet. So I think he's gonna go back and see things differently, and then is able to kind of go to the future or the present day to try to help change it. Now that he actually knows how to work the time loops or whatever the time vortex, whatever happens in the quantum realm, as the shot says. So I think he might go at least twice in time travel.
Okay. What about you, Frank? Will Ant-Man travel back and forth through time several times?
Before the show, you had shared that theory with me, Rashad, and I didn't come across that. I was one of my theory that I thought of myself and came across along YouTube and reading internet articles on Reddit is Ant-Man going by one time. So hearing multiple times, based on what Charlie said, that makes more sense than going one time because he hasn't mastered it yet. He's trapped in a quantum realm right now, and so how can he so yeah, he hasn't mastered that yet. So I'm not going to regurgitate what Charlie just said. I definitely will co-sign everything that he said. That he will go multiple times until he figure it out, but he will be integral in the Avengers defeating Thanos by going through time.
Okay. And I like that new word, integral. So, will Ant-Man go back and forth through time? My answer to that is I don't know. I really don't have any idea. It kind of makes sense that it would happen, that what is that movie? It's kind of like Days of Future Past. You see the original thing where basically they keep sending Bishop back in time because they keep getting found by the Sentinels. So it could be something like that. Everybody dies, he goes back in time again. But I really don't know on that. All right. This one is for you, Frank. The Avengers will take on Thanos multiple times. So whether it has to do with time travel or not, that they're going to fight him, they're going to lose. They're going to fight him, they're going to lose. It's going to take several times of them fighting him before they finally win. What do you think about that?
Well, the movie is 3 hours long. It's about to be as long as Titanic.
Bro.
we about to get some extra popcorn. We got to get some extra sodas. We got to get some extra candy, and we're going to have to use the bathroom way ahead of time. So yeah, if that's the case, the movie's 3 hours long, and it's going to be that's going to be the reason why. So based on the length of the movie, I think I can rock with that.
Okay. What about you, Chuck? Will the Avengers take on Thanos multiple times?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do you one better. I think they're gonna take on Thanos multiple times, but then they're also gonna team up with Thanos as well somehow.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that twist. Now you got me thinking about that Gamora thing. I'm like, you're right. Not Gamora, but Nebula. I was like, okay, that could possibly happen. I know it did happen in the comics. They teamed up to stop her, but she was going straight crazy with that gauntlet. So if that happens, they may have to team up with dude. That would be awkward. But you trying to kill him and still fight off her? It's like, I don't know. That would be weird. Because he's way past Loki hate. He on a new level hate. He just killed everybody. They go into rehab and everything. Stark has all got shakes.
Yeah, Falcon talking about this is awkward. Yes, both those for me. What the heck? What in the Infinity War is that? Yes, I do believe that the Avengers will have to take on Thanos several times, but I do think they're going to beat him. Well, That's for the next question, actually. And I do believe that they're going to have to team up with Thanos. I think that would be perfect. I mean, the comic books again have set it up for it to be that way, and it would just that's great writing right there because I can't think of anywhere in the movies that we've seen so far where that has happened. That used to happen in comic books sometimes, like Megatron and Optimus Prime teamed up a couple times. It would be interesting to see that in the movie form. So cool. All right, this one is going back to you, Chuck. Is there a greater threat than Thanos?
I think at the beginning of the movie, no, but then by the middle or end of it, I think there will be some type of threat that they're all gonna have to work together, kind of like what I just said. So yeah, I think there will be a greater threat, and there's gonna be some major sacrifices. So some people ain't coming back. I don't think everybody's getting wished back. It's not Dragon Ball Z. So like some of these are not gonna be on the next episode. So, but yeah. I think that's probably going to happen.
Okay. What about you there, Frank?
Yeah, I mean, either way, two ways I see this. I think there is going to be a greater threat because one, we know that this is the end game. This is the end of an era. This is the end of the last 10 years of the current Marvel comic universe, the last 11 years of it. So there's got to be an enemy beyond Thanos. But if there's not, it goes to one of my theories that I forgot to mention earlier was that Thanos get defeated by the Avengers and he maybe like just gives up on life and just says, hey, I'm just going to switch myself in the soul with the Soul Stone with Gamora and get trapped in the Soul Stone. But he'll still be alive. So that means that a greater enemy could get him out later. That's why there's a part of me that thinks that Thanos is not going to die because there's a greater enemy. If he does die, then the greater enemy found out about it and want to know who these powerful people are. So there has to be somebody out there that is a greater threat.
Okay. Well, if you watched the last show, you definitely know how I feel about that. I definitely feel that there is a greater threat. And I'll mention two of those. I think the first greater threat is going to be Nebula. Please watch the previous show in order to find out my details on that. I think the other greater threat will be World Breaker Hulk. I think that's going to be a real problem. Everybody that was complaining about why the Hulk was so weak, can you just calm down 1 second? I think you're going to get all the Hulk.
You know
what? Get all the Hulk that you could ever want in this movie.
That's good because I even though you just said that like the last show, I forgot about the Hulk again. Like he's going to be such a surprise because like he wasn't in the other movie almost at all. So it's like, oh yeah, he wasn't there.
Yeah,
that would shock a lot of people.
That's a good transition. So since you're talking, I'll keep it with you there, Chuck. The next theory is Loki has been the Hulk the entire time. Or, is that he's been Hulk.
No, I don't think that's true. I'm going to go false on that one.
Any reason why?
I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't. I think Loki's important, but I don't think he's going to be like some type of whole mischief thing. I think the Hulk really has his own problems and issue. So I think they want to make sure Mark Ruffalo has his due in these movies since he doesn't get his own standalone movie. So I would hate for it to be like really Loki the whole time and like Mark is like in a cocoon somewhere just chilling, Or so I don't think that's true. I'm about to go false on that one.
Okay. What about you, Frank? Loki has been the Hulk the entire time.
I don't believe it. I'm more in the belief that Hulk and Banner might end up splitting. So there's that Loki could be one of them because that's for me. That's my mind where I'm going with the Hulk. I haven't put much thought into Loki even being him because I was just never sold in Loki even disguising himself as a Hulk. Why would you hang around the Avengers? I think it's to the point that Thor could probably even sense him if he was one of them at this point.
Yeah. Say again, was it Thor what?
Yeah, I think Thor would be able to sense Loki.
Okay. Gotcha.
Especially
Okay.
Doctor Strange. You know, he did go
Yeah,
right to Doctor Strange. And
Hmm.
right.
he would have figured that out real quick.
I
Real
hate to
quick.
I hate to call other people's theories dumb. I think that's the dumbest theory I've heard, and I don't know where that came from. It's ridiculous. What Loki is so it's the Hulk? That's stupid. They spent the whole movie with Banner talking to the Hulk. Why
Yeah.
would they do that?
Yeah.
Why would they say, "Hey, I need to transform"? No, just kidding. I'm actually Loki. That's stupid. It
Yeah,
would be
that's
one thing if like he was doing that in front of people, but every time that the Hulk said no, that was a private conversation between the two of them.
yeah.
When you saw him trying to transform the first time, he wasn't talking to the Hulk. He was just like, I need a moment here. You know, but after that, you saw multiple times where he was talking to himself, saying, I need to transform a Hulk. We need to work this out. So that's stupid that would be Loki. So yeah, that's dumb. All right. I just want to get that one out the way. All right, let's take it back to Frank Puna, Big Tuna. This is a new one that I saw, kind of interesting. Ultron is coming back.
I would love for Ultron to come back because at the age of Ultron, everything it would tie into what Ultron was trying to do. Ultron saw the Infinity War happen before it happened. That's what he was setting up everything for. So yeah, it would make more sense to me. It would be probably one of the best tie-ins, because that would tie in the Endgame to the Age of Ultron tremendously. That would be like I will give 2 thumbs up to the writers and the directors if they even pull that off. I love that theory right there.
Ooh. You on mute, Rashad.
What about you, Chuck?
And he just said that. I'm like, what if Ultron gets the gauntlet? Like he comes back, he gets the gauntlet. It's like a whole like Age of Ultron type of thing they have to fight through. Like we're thinking like the big threat is Gamora. What if it's Ultron?
Hmm.
Like, because that's also a thing on the game. I remember on the what's it, the Capcom and Marvel game that they had, and it was Thanos working with like members of the Avengers to fight Ultron because he fused with like the baddest person in Capcom, and they had like a whole story arc with them going against Ultron. Like Ultron's like the big bad with the Infinity Stone, and Thanos is actually working with the Avengers as a team. So that would be something. That would be something right out of left field. Like if they brought him and made him maybe a part of the big bad or another threat that they all had to mount up to beat. That would be crazy.
Okay.
That would be crazy.
I think that Ultron could make an appearance. I don't see him as being a big bad. I think he would do something like Red Skull. Like he would just show up and you were like, oh, smack. Like Ultron is still around. I mean, because for what reason would Ultron be gone? He's a computer program that can copy itself multiple times. Why would, and go all over the internet, why would destroying a couple of his bodies in Sokovia get rid of him? I mean, they've definitely, the comics have left it open that he always comes back over and over again. And if you look at Spider-Man Homecoming, there's one time where I think it's Happy, he picks up one of Ultron's heads, and the head actually has his lights are on. The eyes, are glowing or something. So there's no reason for Ultron to be dead. But again, I don't see him as being a main bad. I just think he will be maybe in the movie. All right, let's go back to Frank Puna, Big Tuna here. The Avengers will make their own Infinity Stones. What do you think about that?
I've heard that theory. How would they go about making it? Did you hear about how they go about making the stones before I could even answer that question, Rashad? Hey, y'all still there?
Rashad, I think his mic is off.
His mic is off. All right. Can you hear me?
I guess it's go with your theory. Thanos snapped them up.
So yeah, let me ask you, Charlie. So I haven't heard much about how would they go about making the Infinity Stones themselves? Where would they get that kind of energy?
Yeah, the only way I can see them doing that is like they would do like the time travel thing. Like they go back in time and get those versions of the stone in that time, and then bring those stones back to the present day to counteract with Thanos. That's the only thing I can think of them being able to make their own. Because I mean, they're things that were created, when when the galaxy was created. So I don't. At least that's what Doctor Strange said. There he goes. You all right? Thanos got you.
Oh, yeah, he don't change. Yeah, he don't change those.
He didn't change though. Okay.
Questions. Don't you see I'm changing clothes every 30 seconds here?
So
Go ahead,
that's the only way. That's the only way I could think. But go ahead, Frank. If maybe the answer.
Yeah, but you actually try to clear it up a bit. What I asked Charlie Rashad was, if they create the Infinity Stones, how do they go about creating it? Who has this power to create some new Infinity Stones to defeat Thanos? Like, where are these new ones coming from? Unless they go back in time and get some that was already created by the Celestials or whoever they are, I can see that. But a set of Infinity Stones created out of nowhere, nah, I don't believe that.
Okay. What about you, Chuck?
I think it's possible that they could, if they do the time travel jump, they could possibly go back and collect those Infinity Stones. And I'm assuming that it's going to be a separate universe because they're going back in time. It's like duplicates of everything. So maybe they'll bring those back to the present day that they're in to fix their timeline. I mean, that's the only way I can see them doing that. But I don't know. The movie is 3 hours long. And, like, we have a couple shows of theory, so who knows what's going to be in this thing? It's like, but you just don't know. Anything can happen. Sure,
every single one of these theories is right. We got Kang, Ultron, World Breaker, Hulk, all of that.
Everything is happening.
Infinity Stones, I think it's possible. Somebody said something about a Tony Stark Infinity Stone toy. I really don't want them to go that route. I mean, because as far as them creating that would be something that like Tony Stark and Shuri and at least those two and maybe Banner would work together to create. But I think that's way above their heads. Like, if they can just create that level of tech, I mean, you're talking about universe-altering technology.
Yeah, it's like
that's too much.
Tony and them just learned how to fly in space. I mean, like they just been out of their own orbit, but in the spaceship, but they can't just jump that far ahead. I'm like, I know they're smart, but they're not that darn smart.
Yeah, so I don't see that happening, but more importantly to me, I don't really want that to happen. Okay, back to you, Chuck. This one is one that's close and dear to my heart. Shuri was dusted.
No, I don't think Shuri was dusted. I don't buy any of that. Just like last year when they had Hulk fighting in Wakanda. So we know they'll go through any means to try to make you believe something is happening. That they'll come over here like a magician and fake you out. And you're looking over here and they come over here or something. So yeah, I don't think she's dusted just because the reason I don't think she's dusted is because she's too important of a character not to show her being dusted. It's not like she's like one like the Dora Milaje or some random, warrior out there that you just see in the battlefield get dusted up. I mean, she's like literally probably like the second most popular person on the Black Panther property. So I mean, they would at least give her some type of due, like maybe her in her mama's arms, and then she gets dusted, make you really feel something. So I think because they didn't show anything like that, then she's still around. She's going to show up and do something crazy.
Okay, what about you, Frank? Is Shuri dead?
Nah, I don't think she's dead. I think in this next movie, what I hope to happen is that her and Starks team up and have a meeting of the minds and come up with some kind of divisive way of defeating Thanos using their their technological expertise. So that's what I'm looking forward to. So I don't believe Shuri's dead because Starks is going to need her. He's just coming down from outer space. He's all messed up in the game, and when he comes back to Earth, they're gonna, the remaining people they're gonna need to join forces. So I'm hoping to see Starks and Shuri link up and come up with something, come up with an idea to defeat Thanos. I don't think she's dead.
Okay. For me,
I don't want to believe.
don't want to believe it. I got you. For me, this is yet another time where I think this is dumb. People are not thinking for themselves. I agree with you 100%, Chuck. If Shuri was dead, they would have shown it. And don't give me this not mess about they didn't know how big Black Panther was going to be. It don't have anything to do with nothing. The Russo brothers know what the heck they're doing. If Shuri was dead, we would have seen her be dead. But she's too important a character, not necessarily from the standpoint of being popular, but she is next in line for succession for Wakanda. So that means if T'Challa is dead, then she is the one that has to fight in order to be in charge. She's the next one. So if both of the main people that could be the ruler of Wakanda were dead, that would be a really, really, really big deal. Okay, I think that she's going to be jockeying for a position in Wakanda because what's his name, M'Baku is still around. Now we don't know M'Baku's intentions. Like in Black Panther, we all know M'Baku's always been a bad guy, but he actually ended up being a good guy in Black Panther and also Infinity War. So perhaps he'll just say, "Hey, sure, you got it. I got your back." Or perhaps he'll say, like, "No, what? Y'all follow T'Challa and you see what happens." So now,
I mean, that's exactly his point of view. I know,
right?
he gonna hurry up. Because I remember when his Black Panther, he was like, "We're gonna let this kingdom go to some boy or something." He couldn't even protect his own father. Like, yeah, right. I know Shuri he going right after her. Like, that's an easy win. She can't use no tech either. Yeah, let me go ahead and throw her off this waterfall.
He's going off the waterfall, right? I definitely think that Wakanda is going to play a really big part in this movie as far as what happens to them. Because the thing about it is that Wakanda was hidden for hundreds of years. Now they're going to come out, and as soon as they come out, they've got a civil war. Well, no, before they came out. But as soon as they come out, they've got they're attacked by aliens. They get a big portion of their army killed, and then half their people are destroyed. Nah, we going back on the ground, bro. We ain't messing with none of y'all people. W people. You know what I mean? So Shuri's going to be the one that's in charge of making that happen. All right, guys. Last question. I am all out of shirts. I was able to pull off 2 more. I got this Doctor Strange shirt that doesn't really fit, but it works on camera. But I wouldn't walk around with this unless I got the, I get boobs instead of pecs right now, so be PG-13. Oh, last one. The scrolls will show up. You all right over there, Chuck? You laughing at my boobs, man? Come on.
I'm laughing at what you said. It's just funny.
Guys don't laugh at each other's boobs, okay? That's not how we roll on Color Commentary. Since Frank is gone, Chuck, the
Frank
scrolls.
Right there.
What do you think?
You don't see Frank?
I don't see Frank. I just see.
Yeah, Frank.
Okay, I see him on my computer. All right, go ahead, Frank. The scrolls will show up.
Oh, you asked me? Oh, I thought you was asking Charlie. My bad. I don't think the scrolls will show up, nor do I want them to show up because I don't like the scrolls. They don't interest me at all. And that's all I got to say about that.
Okay. What about you, Chuck?
I think I got enough scrolls off of Captain Marvel. I'm kind of good with the scrolls. They just like that movie was underwhelming. The scrolls were underwhelming. I don't really look at them as a threat. The way the Kree just massacred them with like 4 dudes, they beat like a whole army of them. So, I don't know. I think that their troops got, it's like they got kind of taken out on that first movie. So I don't really see how they're that much of a threat. And she was able to just walk on a bus and just figure out who they were, just by looking around, So I don't think that's that big deal. So yeah, no scrolls. They can wait for a while with scrolls.
Yes. Yeah. For the last question, I am ashamed to admit that I agree. There will not be any scrolls in this movie. And I'm really hurt by that the way that Infinity War ended, it left it completely open for that to happen. We were just waiting for the Skrulls to be introduced in Captain Marvel. But I really think that movie kind of ruined the Skrulls, at least for the moment. I think the Skrulls are going to show up at some point. But just for us to have a complete 180 and be like, oh no, they're bad guys again. I don't, I don't see that happening. I would love to see them show up as an end credit scene. But the thing about a lot of times with the end credit scenes with Marvel is a lot of times they don't give you what you want. Like if you think about Avengers, we saw Thanos. Then we didn't see Thanos for like 7 years.
Guardians of the Galaxy, that's when he came back.
Yeah, he just showed up and he turned his little chair around and catch a hissy fit. So I don't think when we get to the Skrulls, we're gonna get to the Skrulls. Like I don't think they're gonna be hinted at. You know what I mean? So I would love to see them. I think it's the perfect opportunity to do it because the next big bad needs to be not a big bad, but it needs to be like a society of bads. How to face off against one big person? How do you face off against a whole crew of people that could be anybody? So I don't think so, but I would love to see it. All right, guys. Well, that's been our show. Real quick, Chuck, closing thoughts, sir?
No, I'm just excited, man. This week is finally upon us. We got the 2 events this week coming up, so make sure you guys watch us live on Friday. We'll be at the theater with a packed house, going through our theory show and also going through the reaction show right afterwards. So me, Frank, and Rashad will be bringing you the truth and how we felt about Endgame. Was it worth all of this hype? And I'm sure it will. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time.
Was it worth not going to the bathroom for 3 hours or peeing on yourself?
I gotta pee.
I peed on myself for nothing. What about you, Frank?
Closing thoughts, man. Yeah, this is going to be probably the biggest movie of the year. Can't wait for it. It's like a pseudo holiday, week, for all us Marvel comic movie fans. So yeah, man. But and what's gonna be funny, man, is just watching to see this movie to see if any of these theories, whether it's our personal theories or these other theories that we heard about, even come true. So I'm gonna be very interested and see, like, man, it'll be great to see if one of us are right, and definitely get to gloat about that. That'll be fun. So yeah, I'm looking forward, man. I hope one of us are right about one of these theories.
I definitely weren't right last year.
No. Nay.
Oh no, you Gamora. You did get Gamora.
Right about Gamora last year. That's right. Last year I said that I felt that Thanos was going to have to sacrifice Gamora or something like that to get the Soul Stone or something like that. Something to that. I was pretty close on that. Yes.
Job well done with that.
Kudos to me. So I hope I can be 2 for 2 with Gamora first and then Nebula. But again, that was our show. If you like what we did, if you enjoyed the conversation, make sure you leave your comments and become a part of our conversation here. Make sure you leave a like, and as usual, you got to subscribe. This is Color Commentary, where we give you views. Well, you tell us what your theory is. Peace.